So I'm starting with about an 11-ounce dough ball. I'm going to go for about an 11-inch pie with that, 11 or 12. First thing you want to do is always keep the dough round. So I'm going to go ahead and get my edge made first. I'm being gentle with the dough. You see people throwing it all over and tossing it and stretching it really aggressively. It's almost like they're mad at it. You want to really be careful, because this dough the yeast has worked pretty hard to create a really nice web of air pockets inside. Those all contain flavors, and so really it doesn't take much at all to stretch dough out. There are a lot of different ways to do it. I'm gentle with it. I'm going to go ahead and get it where I can get it on my hands and just give it a little bit more. And we're there. There are different strategies on making a lot of pizza and getting them in the oven. Wooden peels are very handy. You just want to put a little bit of peel release on them to make sure that dough is going to keep sliding when you go to put it in the oven. You can use wood. This is a composite board. The other way to go is to work right off the counter, and you have your semolina under there, and once the pie is built, you can truly just get it right onto one of these peels, one of the aluminum or stainless peels, and go right into the oven with it. So when topping a pizza, it's kind of like when you're stretching the dough, you're doing everything in circles. If you're trying to keep your pizza round, take that sauce so you're right out there near the edge. The edge is going to swell up. Everything's going to move toward the middle. I am going to take this cheese out to the edge too. You can always push it back in a little bit. If you get some falling over, you don't want any on your peel, or that'll trip your pizza on the way off. You don't want to dump anything right on the floor of the oven. If you do, it's easy enough just to scrape it off and sweep it out though. There we go. So the ingredients are spread toward the edge. And because everything wants to move toward the middle anyway, if you start out with a pizza that's piled up in the middle, it's not going to be a nice finished product. You're never going to be able to really eat it. All right, so this pie is still dancing on the peel, sliding around. It is ready to go in the oven. All right, since this is just my first pie, I got another couple to put in. I'm going to go ahead and go back toward the flame. If I was loading a lot of pizza in here, I might turn the flame up a little and start loading them back and then finishing them toward the flame. We'll discuss a couple different methods of rotating pizzas through these ovens. But for now, I'm just going to slide it in there. That'll be a good first spot for it. Now I'm going to bump the flame up just a little bit. It might not even be perceptible on camera. I think it got a little more intense. Now the one tricky thing about the bistro, and one thing you need to be aware of, is that the side of the food facing the flame is the side that's going to cook fastest. It's going to brown fastest. And so when you get some pies close to the flame back there, you need to keep track of them in your head, because you're not always going to be able to see the side of the food that's browning fastest. I'm going to go in and check it out. You can see that the side facing the flame is starting to brown up. So it'll continue to brown even when it's not facing the flame. It just won't be the fastest browning side. So I've given this pie almost a 180. I'm going to see if I can just give it 3 turns. With the Bistro series ovens, I mean, you definitely are cooking closer to the flame, so you're having to attend the pies a little more often than if you were cooking in one of our big fire deck ovens. Or even the big mountain series ovens. There are regions in those ovens where you can place pies and not really have to attend to them much until just before they're coming out. All right, this pie is starting to look really good. I'm giving it one more turn, because that one side just needs to face the flame maybe for another 30 seconds. This pie has cooked in about 3.5 minutes. That's what we're going for here. We've got a 12-ounce dough ball for about a 12-inch pie. It's on the thicker side, heavily topped. If you were doing Neapolitan pizza, you'd want to have this oven fired up closer to 650, 700 degrees and be shooting for a 70-second cook time. 90 seconds, somewhere in there. And that's when you're attending to the pizzas constantly. Giving yourself 3 or 4 minutes for a pizza gives you a little bit of leeway to get other pizzas ready, do a couple other things. Let's bring it on out and have a look. That looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to give the bottom a quick check. Bottom looks good too. Out to the cooling rack.